Hi, Lisa here with New Start University, and I wanted to talk to you about a few things real quick. I'm sure most of you know that I'm going to be going to Summit this summer for a Beachbody convention, which I'm so excited about. And what I'm not real excited about is I just found out that everybody, and I mean everybody that I'm rooming with while I'm going to be there, is going to be competing in the Beachbody Classic. What is that, you ask? That is actually like a bikini competition or a fitness competition. Obviously, I'm not going to be participating in that. But let me tell you what it has done. It has lit a fire underneath my butt to make sure that I definitely get in shape and that I have a set goal that I'm trying to get to before Summit. And so I'm going to invite you on my journey. Sorry, my son's dog is over here just going crazy. But I'm going to invite you on my journey with that, and by going live a lot, that'll kind of help with my accountability. And I want to share, different things about my journey with you. And I'm sure sometimes people might see me on here like working out all the time, and they see that I'm trying to eat healthy, and they're probably wondering like, why are you not dropping the weight as quick as you should be? Well, this is the thing. I've lost 13 pounds since the beginning of January. And before December, I had lost, I think, 45 pounds, and I gained some of that back over the Christmas holiday. So I don't even really know how much I've lost at this point, and I've kind of stopped caring or counting because I'm working on a lot of internal issues. And I just want to share some of that with you because the more that I work with women in my support groups and my accountability groups, I see that there's a lot of things that hold us back from weight loss. And you might not be the only, I know I'm not the only one that suffers from this. So I thought maybe by sharing my experience, it might help you a little bit. So one of the first things about me that you need to know is that I was a child of alcoholic parents. And I've been told that when I was younger, that I used to hide food all the time. I guess to make sure that we had food, in case somebody couldn't get to the store. Now, I don't remember that at all. But what I do remember is one time being in high school and going to the grocery store and coming home, and my brother and one of his friends was over there, and my brother's friend and him ate like almost all the food that I had just bought. And I went ballistic. I think that deep down, seated within me, that there's this fear that there's not going to be food, or like still to this day at my house, I feel so like fulfilled when I go to the store and my pantry's full. I just feel really secure. I just feel like I'm a good provider for my family. And I think that, maybe I'm afraid that my kids will be hungry and I don't ever want them to be hungry. Or maybe I'm afraid that they'll follow some of the same behavior patterns and hide food, in the event that they don't have food for some reason. But I say all that just to say that a lot of times there's some deep-seated issues that you have to work out. And a lot of times it's really not an issue about the weight. It's more a heart issue. And that's something that God has been really, really impressing on me. For example, it has just been recently that I've been able to, deal with feelings and not stuff food down my face just to cover up whatever was hurting. I know, in the past, if something was hurting, I didn't know how to deal with it, so I would just go eat. And I remember last summer, after I had started this journey, one time getting a letter from my father that kind of upset me, and just about his regrets. And it just upset me because I had wanted things differently also. And I remember that was one of the first times that I didn't turn to food. I sat down on the steps and I just kind of let that pain wash over me, and I cried. And I'm not saying feel sorry for yourself, but you definitely have to work through things. You have to process things that have happened to you. And reminder, when you go live, put a do not disturb on your front door so people don't bother you and dogs don't go crazy. But at any rate, I think I'm going to have to go answer the door because I have a little boy here and I don't know if that's his parents or not. This is bad. Let's go see who it is. I've got dogs going crazy. Let's see, I think it's maybe just the Pampered Chef lady dropping something off. I'm going to kind of sit here for a minute. Yes, it was. Okay, we're going to ignore her because I now have totally lost my train of thought. It's awful. Anyhow, what I was saying was that, what was I saying? That I actually, in the past, I would just numb my feelings, and I would eat and I wouldn't deal with them. And what that does is you can't ever process it. You can't ever move forward. So you just get stuck. And so it's really important to just feel those feelings, um, deal with them. And I think that that's something that holds a lot of people back from losing weight, is that they don't deal with their feelings and they just kind of just turn to food all the time. And I know, like, another thing for me is I have a really hard time being present in the moment. And, so for me, it's much easier to say, hey, let's go out to eat and get caught up, than for me just to sit in my living room and have a conversation with somebody. For whatever reason, like, just having food kind of takes the focus off the awkward silence or insecurities, and we have other things to focus on. And so that's something that God's really working on me with, is just to be present and in the moment. And there's so many different things. I remember one time, a long time ago, I had somebody tell me that I had a tendency to sabotage myself when I would get down to a certain size. And I know that that really is true. And I think that in the past, a lot of times I would say, oh, I'll be so much happier when I've lost weight. Or maybe if I was having a hard time in my marriage, like people often do, oh, my marriage would be better. Or maybe when I lose weight, I'll try for this job promotion. I mean, there's just so many different things. So the best thing to do is really just look inside yourself and kind of see, start seeing when you started having a hard time losing weight. Was there a particular thing that happened in your life? Was it a pivotal moment? Did you gain a lot of weight after a certain time? And maybe it's just that you have to deal with some issues. So I'm going to be blogging about this because I think it's something that a lot of people get frustrated and they quit because they think, well, I'm working out and I'm eating healthy and the weight's not coming off. Well, maybe there's some life lessons that you need to be taught. Maybe you need to be taught some coping mechanisms. And it's okay, because a lot of people weren't taught those things growing up. And so as adults, we have to go back and learn how to do things that to other people might just seem common sense. So anyhow, I'm going to be sharing my journey. I'm going to be sharing my journey to Summit. Like I said, I've lost 13 pounds so far this year, and I'm hoping to lose 2 more this month just to make it an even 15. And hopefully I can be about 40 pounds lighter by Summit. So anyhow, thank y'all so much for your support in a place where social media is extremely scary, and it's scary to be vulnerable. I have been overwhelmed and blessed with people that have been supporting me, and you guys make it so much easier to keep going. So y'all have a good night.